Hi, welcome to MotoTribe. I'm Laura Kraft, and we're here at the track, Little Tally, right before the races. We're here with Redspade, Sarah Merrell, and Emily Prince. We're going to learn what is their mental strategy going in for today, and what is their checklist right before they go out to go grid up. Hi, Sarah. We're here today. Oh, look, there's Judd.
Late breaking news. Sarah Merrell is the first place winner in the Mini 50, Mini 80 class today on Saturday.
I got first place? Holy crap. Congratulations. I got first place.
I should add, she got first place by 5/100ths of a second.
Wait, Judd, were you in that race too?
I was in that race. I was the 5/100ths of a second behind her.
All right, Sarah, so what's been your mental strategy coming into this week and into this day?
So basically my plan has been to just take it just one piece at a time, because I would start to get really overwhelmed when I would just think about the whole race weekend as a whole, and I would start to get anxious and nervous, and so I just told myself, take it one day at a time. The first day is straight up travel and just getting in there, packing, set up, and then the second day just focusing on the practice, and then focusing on one race at a time, and that's really helped me to relax more, enjoy myself, and just have a better time.
So it sounds like your strategy has been to relax before you get out there. Is that possible, to be relaxed when you're gridded up?
It is hard to be relaxed, and that's where I try to take some deep breaths, and I also do some stretchings, a little bit of yoga beforehand, and that's something that I do before my pit bike races. Just taking deep breaths, and sometimes I might say some prayers, and then I do my stretching, and that helps me limber up for the race and feel ready. But it's also helps me just to kind of calm myself down, because I know from my pit bike racing experience, if I go out there and I'm too amped up and nervous, I'm not going to do well.
So you got to be really engaged and in your head and not focused on what's going around you?
Exactly, yeah. And I was actually talking with the other girls the other night about 5 reasons why people crash that I learned in champ school, and the number one reason is from a lack of focus. And so that's why it's the number one thing that I do to prepare for my races, to get in a place where I'm calm and where I'm focused, and then when I get out there, to think about one thing at a time. So first off, I'm only thinking about my start, and then I'm only thinking about that first turn, and then the next and the next. And because it's the same thing with racing, if you start to think about the track as a whole, and you start to think about things that are several turns down, and you're not thinking about exactly what you're doing next, then that's where you can get in trouble. And so it's just so important to be focused.
So Anna, before you go out there, what's your mental checklist? What things do you need to go through? Make sure your boots on, your suit's up, your chin strap for your helmet. What's your checklist to make sure you don't forget anything and roll off with your tire warmer still on?
Oh, the tire warmer thing. That's up to my crew chief. He has to make sure they're still off. But actually, yeah, my mental checklist starts a little earlier in the day. Obviously, I want to make sure that my tires are up to temp. The tire warmers have been on for at least an hour before my race. So, they're nice and hot. I can make sure the temps are perfectly good. But even before that, earlier in the day, we actually swapped my wheels out for slicks today. So, we had to re-safety wire everything. You want to make sure that all your pinch bolts and your main bolts are in tight. You want to make sure your calipers are on properly, because, I've been out there with friends where they've lost a caliper in the middle of the track. So you don't want that to happen, and as things are very heated and everyone's stressed out, you have to be very focused, which is best to have a checklist, like an actual checklist if you're new to this, and check off and make sure that you've got it all done, because you will get interrupted. Someone's going to come over and you might forget to tighten that pinch bolt, and that could mean disaster. Obviously, make sure your brakes work, everything nice and tight. Sometimes I actually zip tie my brake lever for a few hours or overnight even, and what that does is it creates a pressure and you get a tighter seal. But yeah, other than that, now that I'm getting ready to gear up, I want to make sure that my suit is warmed up on me and my boots are warmed up. I don't have them on right now, but I will soon. Keeping my feet warm. It is cool today. It's probably 46 degrees right now. Which is actually amazing it's totally fine for racing. Probably 15 minutes before the race, I'll actually start putting in my earplugs, block everything out. Today's a little colder, so I'm gonna, put a covering on my neck just to stay warm. That's really important because it does get cold out there when you're doing triple digits. And I start to meditate, honestly. Like, I'm just gonna sit down and focus, calm myself internally, because I'm sure I'm gonna get really anxious. But the biggest thing is, I've got a crew chief with me today, my husband. He's doing all the heavy lifting, so he will see me off. So I don't have to worry about things like the tire warmers and all that. He's gonna come and see me off, and my job is just to race. So that's awesome because I don't get to do that at track days. At track days, I have to do everything because I'm by myself. So this is a nice treat for me, and I can just focus on being calm and collected.
Emily, what are you doing?
I am safety wiring my camera on because it would be absolutely horrible if this thing came flying off.
So, what's your mental strategy going in for today? Are you nervous?
I am definitely nervous. I am just a little, trying to stay calm. It's very hard because there's a lot of excitement and a lot of stuff going on right now, but just trying to stay calm and collected and, keep my head straight. Not let it overwhelm me. So I'm just kind of like working through my checklist, getting ready, making sure that everything is totally ready. Warmers are plugged in, set to the right temperature. My tires are, the right inflation. And, just trying to stay focused.
So did you sleep well last night?
Not at all. Not at all. I definitely was up a lot later than I was planning on. I was hoping to go to bed nice and early, but it was just, couldn't shut my mind off. I was watching videos, looking at people's lap times from previous years, and just kind of trying to figure out where I thought I was going to wind up today.
Going into right before you grid up, do you think that you're going to have a rush of adrenaline, or are you going to be cool, calm, and collected?
It's definitely going to be a rush of adrenaline, probably shaking, sitting out in the grid, just getting ready and hoping that I don't stall the bike on the start. Just trying to think through all the turns. Tally's not a huge track. There's not that many turns. So really playing in my mind, like, all right, what's my best line through here? And, comparing where I'm going versus some of the faster people out there and trying to use some of that to help me get faster.
Do you have a checklist that you go through in a certain order?
Absolutely. There's a very certain order because otherwise you end up forgetting something. So I wait, when it's third call, when I'm about ready to go out. First thing, I'll make sure my suit's on, back protector's on. I will get my earplugs in, put my helmet on. Then I put my gloves on. Actually, scratch that. Before I put the gloves on, I usually pull the front warmer off, and I'll drop the bike off the front stand. And then I'll put my gloves on, and then pull the rear warmer off, and then pull it off the stand there. And I've been practicing because I currently don't have a kickstand. Like, Wera does not let you have a kickstand, so I have always been able to just put a kickstand down and step off the bike. Now it's like you pull in, and I have to hold the bike, balance it, gently step off, walk my way down the back of the bike, grab the stand, and then manage to get the bike on the stand. So, I've been practicing because I'm not always going to have someone there to grab the stand for me. So I want to make sure I can handle it and not drop the bike. So far it's been good. I've got it down, I think.
Let's talk about what's happened today. Fill me in.
So it was a little bit stressful morning this morning. We're trying to get to the track and we have to go through tech, and being our first time, we don't know how strict they're going to be about everything in tech, and so it's kind of this mad rush to get our bikes out the door and get into practice. And so, Judd had some issues with the Valley, spurting some oil that had to get fixed, and yeah, it's the Valley over there. Yeah.
Never fails. It's last minute.
Yeah,
Always something happens right when you're about to go out.
You
You're
had
like,
your tire.
yeah, my tire cracked on me, and so I came in after the practice and I looked at it and I was like, guys, this isn't good. Like I had 2 big slices on either side of the tire, and so.
It was a brand new tire?
So apparently just the cold weather last night, that's the best we can guess, is that it was just from the cold. And so I had to do a last minute tire swap and wasn't planning on having to do that, but you know, it's.
I thought you guys put heated blankets on the bikes last night.
We did, but they didn't go all the way down to the tires. And yeah, so I've heard now, I've gotten some good tips from lots of people on how to prevent that from happening again. So that is, don't leave the bike on the ground, put it on stands, and then that keeps the pressure from being on it while it's getting cold and then heating back up. That actually will keep it from doing that. And then also put warmers on right before you pull it out to actually warm up the tires before you put the weight of the bike back on them. So might have a longer process getting the bikes out of the trailer tomorrow, but...
All right, so we got the tire this morning and...
Judd had some wheel issues on his R6, and that could have been catastrophic, but luckily it wasn't. But ever since we got through this morning, I think it's been pretty smooth sailing.
So we decided to wait till practice number 2 when the temperature was a nice balmy 37 degrees. I went out just long enough to where like my hands went completely numb in the gloves, and it got to where I couldn't even feel the brake. I was like, I gotta go in. Like I'm done, because it was just miserably cold. But it was just kind of to break in my new tire that I then had to swap right after. So
hopefully we got all the bad juju out of the way, and it'll be...
I know. Now I'm just trying to figure out where I'm supposed to grid up.
Oh, yeah.
Because with the 2 heats and the cones, like, we're in the back, and I didn't see cones for the second part, so I have no clue. So we get out there and just really hope that we are directed where we're going.
Figure it out.
You'll be on the front of the start line.
I know I'm going to line up. They're going to be like, no, back it up, girl, back it up. I know. I'm like, I really don't know where I'm going, so hopefully they're going to at least advise us. I got my bright yellow shirt I'm going to be wearing, so they're going to look at me and be like, she's lost. Let's help this poor girl out.
The track goes this way.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, grid it out going that way. They're like, what are you doing? Yeah. I know. Anna's like, you remember you get a warm-up lap. You go out, and I was like, oh, yeah, because I'm sure going, do you pull in and go? She's like, no. You go line up with I was like, oh, okay, because that would have sucked. Yeah. I would have been going the wrong way in the pit.
So what races are you doing today? I know, Sarah, you've already raced one race today. That was the mini race?
Mini race. And then we're actually all running in the same races. So we're doing C Super Stock, which is like the 600cc class, and then B Super Stock, which is
750s, yeah.
Yeah. So, and actually, the funny thing is, the 750 class is going to be easier because there's
a lot less people. Yeah.
So even though they are on bigger bikes, there's less people out there, maybe less competitive?
I mean, yeah, exactly. I know that we're not going to pass the people on the bigger bikes, but I'm like, there's still, I don't remember how many are on the grid, but it's a lot less. Like, there's 20-something in the super stock. I mean, that's why we're in 2 waves. So I know that our class is 16 riders. The other one had maybe 12. And so we're looking at like 28 bikes all out on Little Tally, which is a tiny track altogether.
For those who don't know, how long is Little Tally? How many turns?
It is.
What's the mileage?
I think it's a little over 1 mile long, and it is 6 turns.
Yeah, and they're all lefts.
And they're all lefts but one right. And so it's going to be just bikes on top of bikes going around here. It's going to be way
I
crowded.
just hope no one takes me out.
No one's going to take you out. I mean, I might come by and kick you over, but I'll just be like,
Watch out for Emily.
Yeah, exactly. It's Thunderdome.
I'll try to get some footage of you guys riding.
Oh boy. There can be only one. Just go on kicking everyone as we go.
Yeah. We also talked about just going like 4 wide across the track.
And just block all the experts so they can't get by us.
Lap us.
They'll have to go out in the grass to get around us. And they will. And they will.
I I think that's a good strategy. So is that one of the strategies today?
Yeah, block the experts.
Yeah.
A rolling roadblock.
Too funny. All right, thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
All right, Redspade, how are you doing today? What's your mental strategy going into today's race?
Doing good. Surprisingly, I am very calm and collected today, which is the exact opposite of what I was yesterday and the entire week leading up to this. So Friday was a little bit stressful. We came in and it was freezing cold, so we didn't know what tires to run. I switched to DOTs from slicks, so I didn't quite have the grip I'm used to. Couple that with, 35-degree weather, so it was stressful. I was very much dreading Friday. Did my race school, got the race license. So here we are today. We're doing our first race. And honestly, the biggest thing was just getting some solid sleep, which I did. I came here fresh, ready to go. My attitude is actually a lot better today. Instead of dreading it and being fearful and saying a whole bunch of what ifs, I am honestly really excited. Being my first race, I don't want to bin it, obviously. I'm a provisional right now, so I have to complete a few races this weekend before I get my official novice license. So you gotta, keep it upright. So that's my goal for today. I want to keep it shiny. I want to get through the race. I want to have fun. That's the most important thing. I've got a lot of friends racing with me in this one, and it'll be really interesting to see how that unfolds. While we're here in the trackside, we're all friends, but as soon as we go out there and those visors come down and that flag drops, yeah. It's gonna be a whole new game.
That was held, where the riders meeting was held on the